one of your biggest enemy is the state of hate. While you are in a state of hate, you are accessing an information field. What you need to understand is every aspect of technology that we design, actually, when you understand the human capabilities, then you create technology to imitate what we do naturally. For instance, the computer, once they understand how the brain works, then they created a computer to behave in the same manner that the brain does. I've been a computer programmer, so I kind of seen the insides of a computer. And there's a lot of if statements. If this happens, do this. While this is going on, do this. If until, like there's so many if statements that make decisions, and that's exactly what your own brain does. If this happens, then react this way. While you keep seeing this over and over again, keep doing this. Every aspect of how your brain operates is exactly how a computer operates, exactly how every software program operates. And it's all designed to take you down a path. And the internet is exactly the same as an information field. When you get an idea, it's coming from an information field. And if you have a state of hate and ask the universe, what should I do? Or what's the right thing? Or what is it I'm seeing? Every way you perceive your reality and you access this information field, whether you know you're doing it or not, you will find everything to confirm a hateful experience. This is why, look at the dragons. Did they look a little loving to you? Look at Voctor and all of the harassment that's going on. Do they seem like they're in a loving state, or are they in a hating state? Every time you're in a hating state, my daughter got a new bird, so he wants part of the action. Every time you're going to be in a hateful state, you will always, always, always access wrong information. And you can see that while on that dragon's den, they were very, very hateful people. So the only information they wanted out of me was extremely limited. They didn't want the full picture. They didn't want the full explanation of what the concept was. They wanted to limit the amount of information, so they had a very tunnel vision perspective. So they ended up seeing everything they wanted to see. If they want to see a really, really dumb idea, they're going to confirm that. Voctor is one really, really good example. One of them is there's a lot of videos made of me being a fraud by editing only a part of a video that would make me look like a fraud. But clearly on my original video, I definitely said, do not send me any money. So can you see, while you're in a state of hate, all you're looking for is information that can confirm everything that's hateful. But if you're in a loving state, then you receive better information that actually will create in your world everything that's loving. You'll find all of the answers to every solution that you're experiencing. But while you have a problem, you're hating. You're hating the problem. It's like hating evil. And it's the biggest challenge is to, okay, while shit is happening to me, how can I get myself in a loving state of being so I can actually access an information field that gives me information to get out of this problem? And all problems are nothing more than solutions waiting to unfold. So you do have the answers to every problem that you are experiencing, but you have to put yourself in the state of mind to be able to pull yourself out of the problem. So it's like I didn't edit my channel from all of this harassment that's going on, so you can see for yourself. Is there hateful shit going on? Do they have answers? Are they guiding you down any path that's actually going to unfold any type of solution? This is a massive, massive global problem that we're dealing with. Everybody's going to be experiencing so many reasons to be rageful and hateful, which is the goal of evil. They want you to be angry. They want you to be frustrated. You know, they want you to be hateful. Why? Because you'll never access good information to get out of the problem. It's all designed. It's all being influenced for you to fall into the path of your enemy. And, you know, if you can't see the name of the game being played out, the main industry that's going to be happening is security, police, army. Why are so many people influenced to join an army that you know is just corrupt criminals? It's just the corporate structure that has a definite cost-effective rule, and life doesn't matter. I've just watched some of Ventura's conspiracy show. They did a show on BP oil and the corruption within that, and it's being totally designed to wipe out a lot of people. And your government is definitely involved. Your media is definitely involved. I mean, you can all see it, but you're all walking around with your heads cut off, not knowing what to do. You know, and you think some leader's going to show up and save the day. And what's going to happen, you know, with these WikiLeaks coming out, Visa, MasterCard, you know, all of our economic system that's operating right now, and the information that you're going to get from the medical system and all of the corruption, guess what? You're going to be really, really pissed off. And who's going to show up to the day? How can you talk with people and guide anybody down any kind of suggested path if you're all pissed off? Plus, are you ever going to even follow a leader that, you know, all leaders guide you down towards the path of hell. So when a leader does show up, it's like, it may be a leader just trying to tell you what you want to hear that's just going to guide you down another different path. That won't work for you. And while you're all going to get unemployed, and if the only jobs available is the army that works for the corporate world, what are you going to do? You need to feed your family. So you're going to take that job to fight against yourselves. You know, you can watch these soldiers that, you know, were putting Jews in these camps. You know, what made them do that job? If you listen to them, they had to feed their families. They were also threatened that they'd be killed if they didn't kill their fellow man. So you're all being totally influenced to feel hate and keep in a state of hate, because once you get into that information field, you will find every single reason to sustain and repeat and duplicate the hate that you're experiencing. It is extremely, extremely hard to get yourself in a state of love while you have so many damn reasons to be hateful. So that's where, yeah, this bottled intention is only a potential that I see, because we need to have a heavy influence to feel in that state of hate so that we can access better information and you get to be the solution to your own problem. Multiply how many people are on this planet that are experiencing problems right now. When you see that global peace is a massive, massive problem, technically, if every single person on the planet unfold their own personal solution to the problems that they're experiencing, you actually have a workforce of the whole entire planet creating peace. There's a lot more people that would want to create peace than to create war, but you need to influence that. You need to create that mindset, create that influence that makes the suggestion you are the solution to every problem that you're experiencing. So how do you influence a whole friggin' planet? Well, we've seen that we've got every single product on the planet is designed for you to feel a lack. You know, every product you buy has marketing attached to it. It has the corporate world brainwashing you into thinking you need to do this. So wouldn't it only make sense that you have another product out there that influences you to know your own personal power, for you to know your own full potential? You don't necessarily need to know how this stuff works. Only a small percentage needs to know the power of this. And then once some kind of product is out in your every freaking day life, everywhere you turn, you see something that's influencing you into a different direction, it does have the power to influence other people, whether they know it or not. You know, if there's 10 people in a room and 3 of them are extremely angry, hateful people, while the other majority of people are extremely loving, how do you transform these hateful people? You know, if you have something that just influences, brainwashes them into being peace, and they show up in the room every friggin' day, eventually they will be transformed. They will not have the power to influence you to hate them because you're too much in a loving state of mind. You can't be influenced by them. No matter how strong their hate is, you can't be influenced by it. But you have that influence to be put on them, and they will end up finding out there's no way out of this. I got to sort of be the love or be the hate, and the hate ain't working for me anymore. So, you know, it does have the power to make a transformation. Now, water seems to be the only thing every single human on this planet happens to need. I mean, look at any one thing that keeps humans alive. What's the one thing that we all have in common? We all need to eat, but we all eat different foods. But we all need water. So if we all have that one thing in common, that one product is something that has the power to influence everybody because it's attached. Water definitely holds information. There's a lot more to water than what you think. It isn't magic water whatsoever. There is no magic in any type of water. What it does is it's a constant, repetitive influence in your life. And more to the point, it's not so much that you have to repeat positive words all the time. That shit won't work. You actually have to create the chemical experiences of the intention yourself. And once you begin, see, if you right now, if you're in a hateful state, your brain is actually creating the right peptides and proteins, the chemical makeup to sustain and create you feeling hateful all the time. And so then you're going to perceive your world. You're going to find all of the reasons to be hateful because of the chemical experiences that you're making. It's like you're taking alcohol all the time and being drunk all the time. But if you create chemicals that support positive things happening to you, you create those peptides and proteins from the source, then your brain will start to eventually build new neural nets. Like you do have to break down all of the highways in your mind that lead to bad negative shit, and you have to recreate the structure in your own mind that goes towards a solution. And once I ended up finding out the sciences, kind of blew me away because it really made me responsible for why am I attracting bullshit in my life? Why am I attracting the abuse? Why am I able to attract anything that I want to attract but seem to, you know, there's nothing good about abuse. So I really had to see what was the game being played. And I hated abuse. I hated being controlled. And while I was in that state of hate, I was actually starting to turn into that myself. You kind of got to sort of, holy shit, I had no idea. But that's the game that's played, is don't hate. Don't hate Wachter. Don't hate these dragons. Just see them for what they are. And they're just in a state of being. They all have a good reason to be in that state. Look at the dragons. One guy is just totally wrapped around greed, 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 greed. His whole life is around greed. If you look at him, he looks pretty stressful. He'll end up dying because he's so freaking stressful because he keeps needing more and more money. And it's like, what are you going to do with the money at the end of the day after the economy crashes? You know, like, you're on top of the mountain, but then what? You know, so it's this guy also, if you look at some of these, I'll continue on another tape.